Okay, we're actually recording. This is the third time I've had to return this because I keep forgetting to hit this freaking start button, and I don't realize it until the camera turns off. Anyway, Kevin reviews something every day, August 3rd, 2009. It's going to be shorter than the first two times. Funny People, Judd Apatow comedy. His third comedy after 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up. I like 40-Year-Old Virgin more than I like Knocked Up. Knocked Up wasn't chick-flicky enough for me. But apparently, well, it wasn't. It was too chick-flicky for me, but not chick-flicky enough for some of my friends who enjoyed chick flicks. It's a comedy about two stand-up comedians, one kind of past his prime, one kind of starting out, played by Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen, respectively. Adam Sandler learns in the first 5 minutes, spoiler alert, except everybody knows, that he's got some rare blood disease, and he hires Seth Rogen as an assistant, but they kind of become more than that because Adam Sandler is the only person who only tells Seth Rogen's character that he has the disease, and so it's kind of dealing with that sort of stuff. A lot of stand-up in the movie because they're stand-up comedians. One of the fun things Judd Apatow did was actually go and record stand-up comedians with these guys in character and use that footage, you know, with real audiences open to the public in the movie. Only about 5 to 10 minutes of that sort of stuff is in the movie, but it adds that sense of realism. Another thing that adds that sense of realism is the kind of the opening bit of the movie is Adam Sandler making prank phone calls, and it's actual home video of Judd Apatow when they were roommates together back in college. I don't know that it was college. They were roommates together in the past. Also kind of when they were both starting out as stand-up comedians. So the movie is somewhat autobiographical in that sense. Like Judd Apatow said that he wanted to make a movie about his time starting out as a stand-up comedian. And this movie kind of reflects that. Although the character of that Adam Sandler plays of George is very fictionalized. Judd Apatow said all of his mentors were really good guys, so he couldn't have a conflict there. And there's not a whole lot of conflict in the movie. There's a little bit. The third act is the strongest plot-wise, but a lot of it is just kind of anecdotal, kind of telling this story about these guys and kind of how Adam Sandler kind of deals with this disease that he gets. I'm reading my notes here. Oh, the fake movies that Adam Sandler is in, those are bad. There's one called Redo, and another one called Merman that you see clips of throughout the movie. Redo, Adam Sandler gets turned into a baby by a wizard. The same kind of device that it was in Little Man. I never saw Little Man by the Wayans brothers, and probably about as good. And Merman, I really have no idea what it was. It was about Adam Sandler played a guy with fish legs. You know, the flipper, Ariel, Little Mermaid. Everything you saw of those movies was pretty darn bad. Which is very much intentional, and sort of a bit of a commentary on some of Adam Sandler's recent films, especially considering Adam Sandler is a good actor, as this film definitely shows. I hate using the term dramedy, drama comedy, because it reminds me of camels. Dramedy to dromedary to camel. I have a spaghetti brain, but it's definitely a very serious comedy. Deals with death and relationships and things like that. Excuse me, I'm not getting choked up, I have allergies. But it's a good movie. I highly recommend it. It's definitely Judd Apatow's best that he's written, directed. All the stuff that he produced, I was kind of like, well, that's just Judd Apatow writing, not writing on people's coattails, but he's putting it together and letting other people do all the real work. If the producers don't work, please don't sue me, Mr. Apatow. Definitely a lot of fun, a lot of good jokes, a lot of toilet humor, as is typical of Apatow's stuff. But it fits actually rather well with the jokes that are going on. The jokes fit with the story, and that these characters are. This is just sort of what they do. They tell jokes constantly, and generally because these are mostly scripted, it works pretty well. Judd Apatow is known for doing retro scripting. I think I read it, is it called somewhere? They're letting the actors improv a lot more and just kind of seeing what happens. And sometimes you can tell, but with Rogen and Sandler, I never noticed if they were doing that. I thought it was really well done. It all seemed very realistic. Mind you, Seth Rogen and Adam Sandler were very much playing caricatures of themselves to some extent, so that probably made that ad-libbing, that freedom, a lot easier to deal with than playing a character very unrelated to them. That's Kevin Reviews Something every day for August 3rd, 2009.